As reported at the end of last year, now that DJI have got the Mavic 3, Action 2 and Ronin 4D launches out of the way, their attention's now turned to the development of the DJI Mini 3. But would I buy one, or should you? Don't go away. Hey guys, Mike here and welcome back to the channel. So a refresh to DJI's cheapest and smallest consumer drone would not come as any surprise to anyone. A new and improved Mini 2 could have increased flight time, improved camera specs, new features like obstacle avoidance and active tracking, whilst of course staying under 250 grams. The success of DJI's Mini series has caused companies like Untitled to join in the competition with its Nano series of drones and caused the sub 250 gram drone market to heat up considerably. Finally, a competitor that actually may be worthy. In fact, I pre-ordered a Nano Plus on the day of release, and then when I was unable to get my hands on one prior to Christmas, I cancelled it for reasons that'll become clearer in the future. Having said that, I've been genuinely excited about the prospect of a Mini 3 drone. And as you may know, according to an alleged leaked roadmap, DJI plans to release multiple new products next year, including, among other things, the Mini 3 and potentially an FPV mini drone. Now, since that information came out, which I stress may or may not be true, I've thought a lot about the Mini 3. But once I got over the initial excitement about the prospect, I've actually started wondering if I'd buy one if and when it finally comes out. So here are my thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you've got to say in the comments section below. Now, I think many of us fall into the inevitable trap of wanting the latest and greatest newest gadget with more features, and the speculation around the Mini 3 has just fueled more of those feelings. Predictions of longer battery life, better camera, more features like active track and obstacle avoidance are all very exciting. But I was thinking the other day that let's say a Mini 3 does rock up with all of those things, which ticks the list for most people, including me if I'm honest, but would I actually get one? Now, I'll answer that soon, but I'd also like to hear from you, so let me know. Now, last year I compared the buying decision that many people go through comparing the Mini 2 and something like an Air 2S, or even now the Mavic 3. And that how having something expensive like that with all the bells and whistles may actually bring you less joy than more joy. Like it or not, when you own or are flying a drone like the Mavic 3, you do feel the pressure, and in a number of different ways. The first and most obvious one is that the thing costs a lot of money, and if you crash it or lose it, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot to fix it or replace it. The other pressure is that in a lot of ways, a drone as capable as the Mini 3 has too many bells and whistles, too many extra functions and settings, that it can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming versus the Mini SE or Mini 2, where it's a lot more simplified. And then there's the pressure you feel if you have all of those bells and whistles at your disposal and you're not making use of them. You feel like you're not making the most of the extra money you've spent on getting the Rolls Royce. Sometimes choice is a good thing, but other times having a lack of choice is kind of liberating. The same might be said for the Mini 3. Granted, the step up from the Mini 2 or Mini SE to a more fully featured Mini 3 is nowhere near the same jump from a Mini 2 to a Mavic 3, for example. But I think the same principles apply. And besides, one thing we should expect if DJI are successful in cramming a bunch of new features into a sub 250 gram drone is quite a step up in price. If the Untitled Nano series is any indication, here in New Zealand the price difference between a Mini 2 Fly More combo and the equivalent Nano package is an additional 30 to 60% depending on the model. Another factor is that most of us are hard pressed for time and don't always fly our drones as much as we would like. Not too much of a problem with the Mini SE or Mini 2, but if you've invested a couple of $1,000s in your new drone and it's just sitting in a dark cupboard for a great deal of the time, well, that builds pressure and guilt on you as well, right? It may sound silly, but it's true. I'm sure all of us at some stage have bought something expensive thinking it'll be great and we really needed it, but feel guilty because we don't use it. Sometimes all we want to do is get it up for a quick flight, take a few basic pictures or video and put it away again. When you've got something like the Mini SE or Mini 2, in a sense you're free from all of those pressures that I mentioned before. We're all programmed to want the next gadget, the latest and greatest version, the version with all the bells and whistles, but you can be more than happy, and in a lot of cases even happier, without it. So all of that has made me rethink whether or not I jump in boots and all and get the Mini 3 when it comes out. And at the moment, I'm still not sure. As we see more and more information come out about it, I'll firm up my opinion, but at the moment it's not an automatic yes. Now, if you're one of those people out there that are looking to jump into the drone market but not sure whether or not you should wait for the Mini 3 or just buy the Mini 2 today, then you're not alone. Now you need to check out this video because I've been asked that question many times. And I've had many comments from people that have taken the advice I gave in the video to say it's the best thing that they've done. So click on the link on screen now and I'll see you over there. Cheers guys.